The average American tosses out 219 pounds of food a year. Now, even if you're not from the States, I bet you can clean up your food waste habits. Composting is an amazing way to do that. For more amazing free content like this, remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit the notification bell so you know when we post new videos. Now, let's get into how to compost. Now, before you freak out, remember that worms are great for your soil and they're great for your compost. Composting with worms is called vermicomposting, but you don't have to use worms. Whether you use worms or not, there are 3 things that everyone needs in their compost: browns, greens, and water. Browns are dried leaves, newspaper, paper, shavings. Greens are veggies, fruits, and water is a moist environment. Once you have those 3 things, you need to figure out which system is best for you. One of the easiest may be just to dig a trench or a hole in your garden or even your backyard and put food in the hole, and then cover it back up and let the food decompose naturally. The second option is to have an open bin, which makes for a great hot composter. You can also buy a tumbler, which is better for cold composting, but it also allows you not to have to do manual turning with a pitchfork. Our last option for you may be preferable for smaller apartments or for urban areas because it is neat, but it does have a capacity. It also makes it a little bit harder to harvest the material because of the size of the composting bin. But nonetheless, in the description box down below, we'll give you a link to how to make your own with the trash barrel. You're probably also wondering what else you need to do for your composting system. Well, you need to turn it. There's really no rule of thumb as to how often you're supposed to turn your compost. Usually it is 3 to 4 days, but if you have a hot composting system, it'll be a week. If it's cold and it's one of the turning ones, you would do it every other day, but it also does depend on the materials that are going in the compost. Rule of thumb, don't turn it too often because you do want the inside of the compost to fully complete the process before you turn it. Now, what do you put in the compost? Well, we did touch on this previously, but you need a mixture of browns, so leaves, dry straw, paper. You also need a mixture of greens, like fruits and veggies, coffee grounds, and even eggshells. But you cannot put any meat products in there whatsoever. No meat or dairy products. This beautiful infographic, which you can find in the description box down below, pretty much sums up what you should put in and what you shouldn't put in. Okay, so now your compost is making its magic. When do you know it's ready? When the compost starts to look like rich brown earth and doesn't smell like rotting vegetables, that's when you know it's ready. This could take up to 3 months or even 2 years, depending on the size and the materials that you use in the compost. You're probably wondering what you're going to do with all these used to be veggies that are now beautiful nutrient-filled compost. You can use compost on tree bedding. You can sprinkle it on a flower bed or a garden in order to supply nutrients to the plants. Once it rains, the nutrients will soak through the soil and your garden will be the best it's ever looked. You can also mix compost with topsoil for a better effect and make your own personal potting soil for your plants at home and for the garden. Just remember that compost doesn't substitute soil. It works best when mixed with soil and watered properly. Compost provides nutrients to plants. You can take vitamins every day, but you still need to eat food and drink water. This is the same for plants. Next time you go shopping, try to only buy what you know you will eat and things that are mostly fresh. Because if you don't finish your dinner, at least you know it can go in the compost. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe. Leave a comment down below telling us what you think of this video, and we'll see you at the next one.